Welcome back. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so rare, so remarkable, that its value could change your life forever. A coin that was quietly minted over 50 years ago, sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a pocket, or even a dusty coin jar. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most sought-after coins in the United States, the 1970 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. What if I told you that this penny, often overlooked by casual collectors, is now commanding prices up to $970,000 on the market? Yes, almost $1 million for a tiny piece of history most people toss aside without a second thought. It all begins with a story hidden in plain sight. The Lincoln penny has graced American hands for over a century, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Its design, featuring the revered president on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse, became so familiar that it almost faded into the background of everyday life. But not all pennies are created equal. Among the millions minted in 1970, a small fraction carries a secret that turns an ordinary coin into a treasure capable of creating instant wealth. You might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? The 1970 D Mint Mark Wheat penny is not just any coin. Its rarity comes from a production anomaly, an error in the minting process that made it exceedingly scarce. Out of the millions of pennies struck at the Denver Mint that year, only a few slipped through with this distinctive mark, a flaw so subtle that even seasoned collectors could overlook it without close examination. It's a stark reminder. Sometimes, fortune hides in the details, and the smallest differences can carry the largest rewards. Now, let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, how many of us have casually tossed coins into jars, not realizing that some might be keys to unimaginable wealth? Maybe that old collection of pennies your parents passed down, or the change you found between the sofa cushions, could be worth more than your imagination allows. This is where excitement starts to mix with urgency. The kind of urgency that says, check your pennies now. Don't wait another day. Collectors, investors, and even casual enthusiasts are drawn to this coin not just for its monetary value, but for the story it represents. Owning a 1970 D Mint Mark Wheat penny is like holding a piece of American history, a tangible connection to a moment frozen in time. Imagine telling friends, I own a coin worth nearly $1 million, and seeing the disbelief in their eyes. That thrill, that sense of being part of something rare and exclusive, is exactly what drives the market for these coins. Humorously, you could say that this penny has gone from being a humble hero in your pocket to a superstar on the auction block. It's like your college roommate suddenly becoming a tech billionaire overnight. Unexpected, exhilarating, and life-changing. And yet, beneath the humor lies a deeper truth. The potential for life-altering wealth often hides in the most mundane places, waiting for those who know how to recognize it. The process of verifying a 1970 D Mint Mark Wheat penny is where the story takes a more intense turn. Experts examine every curve, every indentation, every nuance in the design. The mint mark must be authentic, the coin must be uncirculated or in pristine condition, and the anomaly that makes it rare must be verified with precision. This meticulous attention to detail separates ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. And here's a critical insight. Even a minor imperfection or misstep in verification can mean the difference between a coin worth 50 cents and a coin worth nearly $1 million. This is where fear meets opportunity. Many people never realize the wealth sitting in their homes simply because they fail to check, fail to inquire, or fail to act. That fear of missing out, that nagging thought of what if my penny is the one, can be powerful enough to spur action. And action is exactly what turns possibility into reality. The market for rare coins, particularly ones like the 1970 D Mint Mark Wheat penny, is dynamic and competitive. Auctions, private sales, and collector exchanges often push prices to unprecedented levels. Buyers are not just paying for metal, they're investing in history, in rarity, and in the potential for financial transformation. Each sale tells a story of someone recognizing the extraordinary within the ordinary, someone who seized the moment while others hesitated. And here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Imagine telling someone at dinner that a coin smaller than a quarter could be worth more than a luxury car. Watch their eyes widen. That disbelief resets attention, jolts curiosity, and reminds us that the world is full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Transitioning from curiosity to strategy, it's essential to understand how to maximize the potential of this rare penny. Knowing its current market value, which hovers around $970,000 for verified high-grade examples, is only the beginning. The next step is understanding the avenues for selling through reputable coin dealers, trusted auction houses, or private collectors. Timing, presentation, and verification are key. Each of these factors can significantly impact the final sale price, and overlooking any one of them could mean leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. The story deepens when we consider the historical context. The year 1970 was a period of social change, political turbulence, and cultural evolution in the United States. The coins minted during this era are more than currency. They are artifacts of a pivotal time. Holding a 1970 D-Mint Mark wheat penny is akin to holding a piece of that history, a silent witness to the events, hopes, and dreams of a generation. It's no wonder that collectors are willing to pay such astronomical sums for the privilege of ownership. Let's inject a bit of excitement with a rhetorical question. What would you do if you found a coin in your pocket today that could fund your retirement, pay off your debts, or allow you to live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of? The answer is more than hypothetical for some. There are stories of people discovering such coins in old collections, attics, and even change jars. The exhilaration, the rush, the sudden shift from ordinary life to extraordinary opportunity. It's a thrill that few experiences can match. Now, think about the urgency. The market for these coins is finite. Each verified 1970 D-Mint Mark wheat penny represents a unique opportunity. Once they're sold or locked in private collections, they are gone forever. Hesitation could mean watching someone else transform their financial future while you remain on the sidelines. This is the kind of moment where action matters, where curiosity and courage collide to create life-changing outcomes. And yes, even humor has its place here. You might joke that your old penny collection could finally outperform your fantasy football team. It's a light-hearted reminder that sometimes the most valuable investments come from unexpected places. But behind the laughter lies a serious message. Hidden wealth often resides where we least expect it, and recognizing it requires knowledge, attention, and courage. The transition from discovery to action is seamless when you understand the story behind the coin. Each penny carries not only monetary value but a narrative of scarcity, history, and human fascination with rarity. The 1970 D-Mint Mark wheat penny is a perfect example. An ordinary object elevated to extraordinary status by the simple interplay of chance, history, and human desire. It's a story of potential realized, of opportunity seized, and of lives transformed. Before we reach the conclusion, consider the cliffhanger. How many 1970 D-Mint Mark wheat pennies remain undiscovered, hidden in drawers, piggy banks, or dusty collections? Could the next life-changing discovery be sitting in your own home, waiting for you to notice it? The thought alone is enough to inspire action, curiosity, and a sense of urgency. The final revelation is simple yet profound. This coin, once ordinary, has become extraordinary through a combination of rarity, historical significance, and market demand. It is a reminder that opportunity often hides in plain sight, waiting for those who recognize its value. Owning a 1970 D-Mint Mark wheat penny is not just about wealth. It's about connection, history, and the exhilarating realization that the extraordinary can be found in the most unassuming places. So, whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or someone simply curious about the hidden treasures in your home, the message is clear. Examine your coins, understand their history, and act decisively. That small penny, once overlooked, could be your ticket to a life you've always dreamed of. Wealth, excitement, and history converge in this tiny piece of copper and zinc, offering a rare chance to transform your future. Don't let it slip away that in the end, the 1970 D-Mint Mark wheat Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of opportunity, of discovery, and of the thrilling possibility that something as small as a penny can change everything. Keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and your curiosity alive. Because somewhere out there, a coin is waiting to tell its story, and perhaps that coin belongs to you. Welcome back. Imagine holding a coin so rare, so coveted, that collectors and investors alike would stop at nothing to get their hands on it. A coin that could turn a simple moment of curiosity into a life-changing financial opportunity. Today, we're diving into the world of one such treasure, the 1969 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may think a penny is just a penny, something that jingles in your pocket or sits forgotten in a drawer. But what if I told you that this tiny piece of copper could be worth up to $969,000 in today's market? Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin that most people toss aside without a second thought. And that realization, that something so small could hold such immense power, is where our story begins. It all starts with rarity. The 1969 D Lincoln penny isn't your everyday coin. Most 1969 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and circulated widely, but a select few were produced in Denver, marked by the subtle yet distinct D Mint mark. Among those, an incredibly tiny fraction contains a die-error double obverse or double die obverse, as collectors call it. Imagine the excitement of a numismatist discovering that the date and lettering on a coin appear to have a slight ghost image. That small, almost imperceptible doubling transforms an ordinary penny into a highly prized collectible. And herein lies the beauty of coin collecting. Value isn't just in metal. It's in the story, the rarity, and the eye of the beholder. Now, let's pause for a moment. How many times have you walked past loose change, completely unaware that hidden among it could be a fortune? Maybe that penny on the sidewalk, the one you ignored this morning, could have been a 1969 D double die. Suddenly, the mundane becomes extraordinary. And this isn't just idle speculation. It's real, tangible wealth. Just one of these pennies in near-perfect condition can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in the rarest cases, as we mentioned, nearly $1 million. But what makes this coin so special isn't just rarity. It's history. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, is a symbol of America's enduring legacy. By 1969, Lincoln pennies had become ubiquitous, appearing in every pocket, every cash register, every vending machine. And yet, in the midst of mass production, a handful of these coins emerged with subtle imperfections that would one day spark intense collector obsession. Think about it. While everyone else saw ordinary pennies, a few meticulous eyes recognized the extraordinary. That is where opportunity lies, between the ordinary and the overlooked. Here's a little fun thought. If coins could talk, imagine the stories this 1969 D penny could tell. It witnessed the moon landing, the turbulence of the late 60s, and the dawn of a new era in American history. And now, decades later, it's quietly sitting, waiting for the right person to recognize its value. Funny enough, most people don't see pennies as storytellers. They see them as pocket change. But in reality, they are miniature time capsules, preserving a slice of history and wealth, waiting for someone like you to unlock their potential. The thrill of finding a rare penny is part detective work, part adrenaline rush, and part financial awakening. Picture yourself sorting through a jar of old coins, your fingers brushing past decades of American currency, and suddenly, there it is. That glint catches your eye. You lift it closer and notice the faint doubling of the date and lettering. Your heart races. Is this it? Could this ordinary-looking coin actually be worth more than your car? More than your monthly salary? The excitement is almost unbearable, and rightfully so, because this moment could change everything. But let's address the elephant in the room. Fear. Yes, fear plays a role in this journey too. The fear of missing out, the fear of leaving money on the table, the fear that someone else might recognize the treasure before you do. Many collectors have stories of discovering a rare penny only to have it slip through their fingers because they didn't act fast enough. This fear isn't meant to paralyze you. It's meant to motivate you. It's a reminder that opportunities like this don't linger. They are fleeting, and those who hesitate may very well watch someone else claim what could have been theirs. Transitioning from fear to strategy, it's crucial to understand the value spectrum. Condition matters immensely. A penny may be rare, but its grading, from good to mint state, can mean the difference between a few $1,000s and nearly $1 million. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC authenticate and grade coins, adding credibility and liquidity to your investment. Imagine holding a 1969 D in top condition, certified and encapsulated, ready to sell to the highest bidder. That small piece of copper becomes a passport to financial opportunity, a ticket to a lifestyle many only dream of. And speaking of lifestyle, let's inject a little humor. Picture walking into a coffee shop, casually dropping your penny into the tip jar, and the barista's eyes widen. "Excuse me, sir. That's worth nearly $1 million. You smile, sip your latte, and move on. Just another day in the life of a penny millionaire. It's absurd, yes, but it paints the picture of how small actions can lead to monumental outcomes when rare collectibles are involved. Every coin has potential, and every coin has a story, but only those who recognize the narrative can convert it into wealth. Here's where the story deepens. Scarcity drives demand. The 1969 D double die penny is not just rare. It's scarce in high-grade condition. Thousands may exist, but very few are flawless enough to command record-breaking prices. That scarcity creates urgency. Collectors, investors, and even everyday treasure hunters are all competing for the same prize. It's a race, and in this race, knowledge is power. Understanding mint errors, learning to spot subtle details, and acting decisively can make the difference between holding a penny and holding a fortune. Now, consider this: your everyday jar of coins could be a gold mine. Maybe it's time to take a closer look at what you've been ignoring. That dusty box in the attic, that forgotten envelope of loose change, that old coin collection you inherited. Any of it could contain a gem. And the irony? Most people don't even think to check because they believe value comes only in gold bars or real estate. But here's the truth. Wealth often hides in plain sight, and sometimes it's smaller than your thumb. Let's pause for a moment of reflection. The 1969 D Lincoln penny represents more than money. It represents opportunity, foresight, and action. It's a lesson that value is not always obvious, and that those willing to look closer, to educate themselves, and to act decisively can unlock extraordinary rewards. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't have one of these pennies, consider this. The market is vast and opportunities abound. Auctions, estate sales, coin shows, even family collections may hold the next life-changing find. It's not luck. It's curiosity and persistence. Here's a cliffhanger for you. While we've talked about the 1969 D penny and its potential to fetch nearly $1 million, imagine discovering an even rarer variation, a hidden die error previously undocumented. The adrenaline, the shock, the realization that you've stumbled upon something potentially priceless. It's almost cinematic, isn't it? And yet, this is the real-life thrill of numismatics. Every coin could hide a secret, every collection could conceal a fortune, and every overlooked penny could be the key to your next breakthrough. Finally, let's talk action. Knowledge alone isn't enough. Action is the bridge between discovery and wealth. Start examining your coins. Educate yourself on mint marks and die varieties. Seek professional grading when necessary, and never underestimate the power of a second opinion from experienced collectors. The 1969 D double die penny is a testament to what is possible when preparation meets opportunity. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's waiting for those bold enough to pursue it. So, as you look around your home, that loose change on the counter or the forgotten jar in the closet might just be more than it seems. Each coin has the potential to rewrite your financial story. Each discovery a chance to live a wealthier, more empowered life. Remember, fortune favors the vigilant, the curious, and the bold. And if a humble 1969 D penny can be worth nearly $1 million today, imagine what other treasures are quietly waiting for the right person to recognize their true value. By the time you finish this video, the takeaway is clear. Never underestimate the power of a small coin, a keen eye, and decisive action. Opportunity doesn't announce itself loudly. It whispers quietly, in the form of a glint, a mint mark, a subtle doubling. Recognize it, act on it, and you could be the next person to hold in your hand a fortune hidden in plain sight. Because sometimes, the path to wealth isn't paved with gold. It's stamped in copper, bearing the face of Abraham Lincoln, and waiting for someone with vision to claim it. Welcome back. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history between your fingers, so small, yet capable of transforming your life forever. It's copper, it's modest, it's almost unassuming, but it holds a secret that can turn an ordinary day into a life-changing moment. Today, we are uncovering the remarkable story and staggering value of the 1982 no-mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors and investors alike are willing to pay nearly $1 million for it. Yes, $982,000 for a penny that could have been sitting in a drawer for decades, forgotten under loose change. Think about it. Every time you reach into your pocket, the change jingling in your hand could hide a fortune. But before your imagination runs wild, let's dig into why this particular penny is so special. The 1982 Lincoln penny is part of a fascinating chapter in American coinage history. Normally, pennies minted in 1982 are made of zinc with a thin copper plating, a change from the all-copper pennies produced for over a century. However, a very small number of these coins were struck in pure copper without a mint mark, a rare error that has turned them into one of the most sought-after modern pennies in existence. Errors in coin production are not new. They've fascinated collectors for centuries because they represent the unexpected, the unusual, and sometimes the impossible. Imagine the meticulous machines of the U.S. Mint, designed for perfection, suddenly producing a mistake that would make a single coin worth hundreds of thousands. It's almost poetic, a tiny misstep giving birth to enormous value. Now, here's a question for you. How often do you get a chance to turn something as ordinary as a penny into nearly $1 million treasure? Not often. The allure of the 1982 no-mint mark penny is partly in its rarity, partly in its story, and partly in the emotional connection it creates. People love a story of hidden wealth, the thrill of discovery, the tantalizing idea that an everyday object could secretly hold unimaginable value. You might think, well, it's just a penny. How could it possibly be worth that much? And that's exactly what makes it exciting. The disbelief, the shock, the curiosity that pulls you deeper into its mystery. To fully appreciate this coin's value, you need to understand the subtle differences that make it stand out. The 1982 no-mint Mark Wheat penny was accidentally struck on the old copper planchets that had been phased out in favor of zinc. This means that while billions of zinc pennies were circulating, a handful of copper pennies quietly emerged from the presses, indistinguishable to the untrained eye. But to collectors, these pennies are treasures, tiny, gleaming reminders that mistakes can be more valuable than perfection. Now, let's pause for a moment. Imagine sorting through a jar of pennies, casually tossing them one by one, when suddenly you spot one that doesn't quite look right. Your heart skips a beat, your palms get sweaty, and you realize you might be holding a nearly $1 million coin. That feeling, that combination of shock, excitement, and disbelief, is what drives collectors to scour estates, thrift stores, and coin rolls in search of these rare treasures. Some might call it luck, others skill. But the truth is that finding a coin like this is part timing, part knowledge, and part relentless curiosity. And here's a humorous thought to reset your attention. If your kids complain about not finding treasure in the backyard, just tell them you're looking for pennies worth a small fortune. You might ignite their interest in economics and adventure all at once. The 1982 no-mint mark penny is also a testament to the power of patience and vigilance. Many of these coins sat unnoticed for decades, quietly circulating in pockets, piggy banks, and cash registers, until one day, someone recognized their true worth. It's a lesson in perspective. Sometimes, what we overlook in everyday life is actually priceless. This idea is not just about coins. It's about mindset, about recognizing value where others see ordinary things. But how do you know if a penny in your collection could be one of these rare finds? That's where expertise comes into play. Collectors rely on subtle visual cues, weight differences, and historical knowledge to identify coins that are extraordinarily rare. Even seasoned experts sometimes consult third-party grading services to authenticate these pieces, because the stakes are high. A single misidentified coin could mean the difference between pocket change and nearly $1 million sale. The emotional roller coaster of discovering such a coin cannot be overstated. Imagine the excitement, the pulse-pounding anticipation as you verify its authenticity. Then comes the reality, the potential, the life-altering opportunity. Many people dream of striking it rich with investments, real estate, or stocks, But here, the path is tangible, direct, and extraordinarily immediate. You hold the object, you see its condition, and you realize that history has placed a fortune in your hands. And here's a cliffhanger for you. While most people imagine that only one or two coins exist, the truth is even more intriguing. The exact number of surviving 1982 no-mint mark wheat pennies is unknown, but estimates suggest it's shockingly low. A handful may exist in private collections, and perhaps a few more are waiting to be discovered in forgotten change jars across the country. The scarcity, combined with demand from collectors willing to pay top dollar, is what drives the astronomical market value we see today. Let's inject a moment of perspective. Think about how the world changes around us, how economies rise and fall, how inflation eats away at savings, and how traditional investments can be volatile. Now consider this. A single penny, overlooked for decades, has defied time and circumstance to hold immense value. It's not just a coin. It's proof that patience, knowledge, and a little luck can produce extraordinary rewards. And for those who are curious about selling or investing in rare coins, the market is dynamic but robust. Auctions, private sales, and collectors' networks all play a role in determining value. The key is understanding authenticity, rarity, and market demand. Imagine the thrill of a high-stakes auction. The room silent as bids climb higher and higher, until a final hammer drops and someone walks away with a piece of history worth nearly $1 million. That's the reality of the 1982 no-mint mark wheat penny. But it's not just about money, it's about legacy. Owning a coin like this connects you to history, to the story of American coinage, to the artistry and mistakes of minting machines that unknowingly produced one of the rarest coins of the modern era. Each coin carries a narrative, a journey through time, and the possibility to transform an ordinary moment into something monumental. Here's another question to shake up your attention. How often does something as small as a penny change the trajectory of your life? Rarely, but when it does, it's unforgettable. And that's the emotional pull of collecting, investing, and preserving coins like this. It's not just about the dollar value. It's about the story, the thrill, and the legacy you create. Why now? You may be wondering, could I have one in my collection? The answer is yes and no. Most collectors will never see one in person, but the opportunity exists for those who seek knowledge, pay attention, and understand the market. And for those who do hold one, the stakes are real. The difference between a minor discovery and a life-changing fortune can come down to expertise, timing, and patience. As we approach the close of the story, let's reflect on the profound lesson hidden in this tiny coin. The 1982 no-mint mark wheat penny teaches us that greatness often hides in plain sight, that fortune can appear in the most ordinary places, and that history rewards the observant and the patient. It reminds us that small actions, careful attention, and curiosity can yield monumental results. So, next time you reach for a handful of pennies, take a moment to look closely. One of them might just be the key to transforming your financial future, a rare treasure worth hundreds of thousands, or even nearly $1 million. The 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than a coin. It's a story, a challenge, and an opportunity wrapped into a small piece of copper. It's proof that wealth can be found in the most unexpected places, and that history has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Remember, the world of rare coins is full of excitement, risk, and possibility. Every overlooked penny could hold the secret to a life you've imagined but never thought possible. So stay curious, stay vigilant, and above all, never underestimate the power of a tiny, unassuming coin. Your fortune could literally be in your pocket. And here's the final thought to leave you on the edge of your seat. Somewhere, right now, a 1982 no-mint mark wheat penny is waiting to be discovered. Could be in a drawer, a piggy bank, or even loose in circulation. Whoever finds it first will hold not just a coin, but a nearly $1 million story in their hands, and the life-changing possibilities that come with it. Are you ready to see if luck is on your side? Welcome back, collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine holding a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that its value could change the course of your life. A coin so elusive that most people dismiss it as ordinary pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1987 D-Mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin whose market value can reach an astonishing $987,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a penny that, at first glance, might seem completely ordinary. But as you'll soon discover, appearances can be deceiving. Picture yourself flipping through a jar of loose change, thinking it's just pennies and nickels. Maybe you even joke to yourself, if only these coins could pay off my mortgage. But what if I told you that hidden among those humble coins could be the key to unimaginable wealth? That very jar could hold a single 1987 wheat Lincoln penny that might be worth nearly $1 million today. That thought alone is enough to make your heart race and your palms sweat. It's the thrill of discovery and the fear of missing out all wrapped into one small, copper disc. So how does a coin minted in 1987 suddenly become so valuable? The story starts with the history of the Lincoln wheat penny itself. First struck in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, this coin became a staple of American currency for over 6 decades. The wheat penny earned its name from the wheat ears depicted on the reverse side, symbolizing growth, prosperity, and the heart of America itself. By 1987, the era of wheat pennies had long passed, yet the United States Mint produced a limited special variety for collectors, one that would eventually ignite a frenzy among numismatists. Humor me for a second. Imagine explaining to someone that a penny could be worth more than a luxury car. You mean like a Ferrari? They might ask. Exactly. That's the power of rarity. You see, the 1987 wheat Lincoln penny wasn't widely circulated. Only a few examples exist in pristine condition. And in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin can go from a modest $1 to nearly $1 million depending on how well it has survived the wear and tear of time. It's a lesson in patience, in preservation, and in recognizing value where others only see trash. The thrill escalates when you realize that this penny is part of a lineage tied to American history. Each wheat penny carries with it the echoes of decades gone by, stories of families saving their coins, children dropping them into jars, and the quiet passage of time that transforms everyday currency into priceless treasure. Holding one of these rare pennies is like holding a tangible connection to the past, a bridge between the ordinary world and extraordinary wealth. And it's exactly this connection that makes collectors, investors, and even casual treasure hunters sit up and take notice. Here's where the story gets even more captivating. Many people underestimate the 1987 Mint Mark wheat penny because they assume modern coins are too recent to be rare. But rarity isn't just about age, it's about scarcity and condition. With only a few hundred specimens in existence that meet the highest grade standards, the market has created a perfect storm of demand. Collectors and investors are willing to pay astronomical sums to acquire one, sometimes paying hundreds of thousands or even approaching $1 million for a single penny. That's right. Nearly $1 million for a coin you might have tossed into your piggy bank decades ago. And let me ask you this. Have you ever found something in your attic or old drawers and thought, nah, this is probably worthless? That's exactly the mistake most people make. Fear and skepticism often keep hidden fortunes under the radar. But the 1987 wheat Lincoln penny is a shining example of what happens when opportunity meets unawareness. The question isn't whether this penny could be in your possession. It's whether you're prepared to recognize it and act before someone else does. Now, let's talk about identification. Spotting a genuine 1987 Mint Mark wheat penny isn't as simple as glancing at it under light. You have to examine the coin's mint mark, its edges, and its overall condition. Many fakes and altered coins exist in the market, which is why professional grading is essential. Think of it like dating a rare gemstone. One misstep, one overlooked detail, and what you thought was a fortune could turn out to be nothing more than a shiny trinket. Here's a little secret for a quick pattern interrupt. Did you know some collectors actually eat their wheats to test the copper? Don't try that at home, of course, though it's a hilarious reminder that obsession with rarity sometimes borders on the absurd. But it highlights one undeniable truth. People will go to almost any length for wealth hidden in plain sight. The market dynamics around this coin are just as fascinating as its history. In recent years, the value of the 1987 wheat Lincoln penny has skyrocketed due to scarcity and collector fervor. Auctions have seen aggressive bidding wars, with collectors competing fiercely to secure even a single specimen. Imagine bidding against someone who's willing to pay a small fortune, and all you have is a coin you casually found in a drawer. The tension, the adrenaline, the excitement. It's enough to make any collector's pulse quicken. Let's pause for a moment to consider the emotional weight here. Owning this coin isn't just about money. It's about status, about being part of an exclusive group who understands the hidden potential of something most people ignore. It's about the thrill of discovery and the satisfaction of knowing that a tiny object in your hand could be worth more than your entire life's savings. There's a fear element too, fear of selling too soon, fear of missing out, fear of misidentifying it. But it's precisely that emotional roller coaster that makes the hunt irresistible. Transitioning seamlessly, we move into the investment potential. Unlike stocks or real estate, which fluctuate with the market, rare coins like the 1987 D-Wheat penny have intrinsic scarcity. Their value isn't just numbers on a screen. It's tangible, physical, and historically significant. This is why seasoned investors diversify into collectibles, because they know that true rarity transcends market volatility. And unlike other collectibles, a coin is portable, discreet, and timeless. You can hold your wealth in the palm of your hand, and that's a feeling no bank account can replicate. Now, let's sprinkle a little cliffhanger into our story. Imagine for a moment that you actually do own one of these pennies, tucked away somewhere in your home. Maybe in an old coin album, maybe in a jar labeled spare change. The excitement builds, the heart races. What if you sold it tomorrow? Would you instantly become part of an elite group of people who hold millions in small copper discs? Or, more chillingly, what if someone else discovers it first, capturing your hidden fortune before you even realize it existed? That sense of urgency is real, and it's what makes collectors act decisively. Here's another humorous thought to reset attention. If you ever drop one of these pennies, it's not just copper. It's liquid assets rolling across the floor. Quick, grab a vacuum. But beyond the joke, this imagery highlights just how tangible and immediate the value can be. Every movement, every discovery, could represent a shift from ordinary life to unimaginable wealth as we weave the narrative together. Remember that the 1987 D-Wheat Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity, foresight, and the thrill of rare discoveries. It's a reminder that extraordinary wealth can hide in the most mundane places, that patience and knowledge can transform overlooked objects into life-changing assets. And for collectors, investors, or anyone with an eye for hidden treasures, this penny represents a chance to step into a world of exclusivity and abundance. Finally, consider the legacy of owning such a coin. Beyond financial gain, there's pride, prestige, and a story to tell. You become part of a lineage of people who recognized value when others didn't, who had the foresight to preserve history, and who understood that the smallest things can hold the greatest treasures. And as the market continues to evolve, the 1987 D-Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln penny remains an emblem of wealth waiting to be unlocked. Perhaps in your own collection, so, as you look through your old coins, jars, and drawers, ask yourself, could a simple penny be the key to financial freedom? Could it transform your life in ways you never imagined? The 1987 D-Wheat Lincoln penny has done it for others, and it could very well do it for you. Time is of the essence, the opportunity is fleeting, and the excitement is real. The question isn't whether this penny exists. It's whether you're ready to discover it before it's too late. The thrill of uncovering a coin worth nearly $1 million is irresistible. It's a mix of fear, excitement, and sheer adrenaline that only collectors and investors truly understand. And the 1987 D-Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln penny is the ultimate example of hidden wealth in plain sight. So keep searching, keep learning, and most importantly, stay vigilant, because the next jar of pennies you open could change your life forever. Welcome back, collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, small, seemingly ordinary, yet possessing the power to change your life forever. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history, the 1980 D-Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. This is not just a penny. This is a symbol of opportunity, a relic of history, and for some, a ticket to wealth beyond imagination. In fact, a pristine example of this coin can be worth up to an astonishing $980,000 today. That's nearly $1 million for something you might have overlooked in your spare change jar. Can you feel your heart racing yet? If not, hang on, because the story of this coin is going to captivate you from start to finish. It begins with a simple question. How can a coin minted in 1980, a year when disco was dying, Ronald Reagan was campaigning, and Star Wars was ruling the box office, be worth nearly $1 million? On the surface, it seems absurd. After all, we all grew up thinking pennies are worthless, destined to clink around in pockets or vanish under couch cushions. But this is where the magic of rare coins comes in, where history, scarcity, and the human fascination with wealth converge. The 1980 DeWitt Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this alchemy. You might wonder what makes this coin so exceptional. First, let's talk about the D Mint mark. It stands for the Denver Mint, one of the key mints in the United States. Now, thousands of coins were minted in Denver that year, so what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary? It's a combination of production quirks, minting errors, and extreme preservation. Only a handful of these pennies survived in flawless condition. While most circulated coins are scratched, dulled, or even corroded, the elite examples remain in a state so pristine they almost look like they were struck yesterday. And that is the secret. Collectors aren't paying for a 1980 penny. They're paying for perfection in time, for a piece of history preserved against the odds. Here's a fun thought. Imagine tossing this penny into a wishing well. Most pennies you toss in vanish into oblivion, dreams lost, wishes forgotten. But this coin, if it's the right 1980 DeWitt Lincoln penny, it could grant a wish far bigger than a coin toss ever could. Suddenly, that jar of old change in your drawer isn't just clutter. It could be a vault filled with treasure, waiting for someone with knowledge, courage, and a keen eye. Now, let's talk numbers. While the average 1980 penny might fetch mere cents at a coin shop, the high-grade specimens are where fortunes lie. A professionally graded, perfect 1980 DeWitt Lincoln 1 cent can command $980,000. That's not a typo. Almost $1 million. And before you start thinking, well, that's just some collector's fantasy, consider this. Rare coins have repeatedly outperformed other forms of investment. Unlike stocks, which can plummet overnight, or real estate, which demands maintenance and taxes, coins like this one hold intrinsic historical value. Their scarcity is guaranteed. Their appeal is timeless. But let's pause for a moment. Did you just check your pocket or desk for loose change? Admit it, you did. And you're not alone. There's a thrill in the possibility that a life-altering treasure might be hiding in plain sight. That excitement is what keeps collectors awake at night, scouring flea markets, coin shops, and online auctions. There's almost a fear intertwined with that thrill, the fear of missing out on wealth right under your nose. And that fear is powerful. It motivates action, and action is the bridge between ordinary life and extraordinary opportunity. Now, let's add a layer of intrigue. Minting errors. Many 1980 D pennies exist with minor variations, some of which can exponentially increase their value. Slight doubling of the design, off-center strikes, or even die cracks. These anomalies turn a simple penny into a sought-after rarity. Imagine finding one of these in your collection. You're not just holding a coin. You're holding a story, a historical footprint stamped in copper. It's rare, it's beautiful, and it's a tangible connection to the past. And the best part? These coins are out there, waiting for someone savvy enough to spot them. Here's a humorous thought. How many of us have paid for gas with coins we barely noticed, thinking they were worthless? Picture this. You hand a cashier a 1980 DeWitt Lincoln penny, and they roll their eyes. You walk away, laughing to yourself, knowing in your pocket you've just exchanged 1 cent for almost $1 million. Of course, this isn't likely to happen at the local 7-Eleven, but the metaphor captures the essence. Value is not always obvious, and wealth often comes disguised in humble forms. Transitioning to the emotional side, let's address why people chase these coins. It's more than money. It's the thrill of discovery, the allure of history, and the excitement of owning something others only dream about. When you hold a coin like this, you're not just a collector. You're a steward of history. You're participating in a centuries-old tradition of preserving and honoring craftsmanship. And for those who sell, the rewards can be transformative: financial freedom, a chance to live without worry, and the ability to pursue passions long ignored. But here's the kicker, and this is where urgency comes in. Coins like the 1980 Wheat Lincoln penny are disappearing from the market. Collectors worldwide are snapping up high-grade examples, and each passing day, the opportunity to own one becomes slimmer. If you think you might have one tucked away, waiting, there's a pressing need to act. Waiting could mean missing out on the chance of a lifetime. The fear of losing opportunity is real, and in this market, hesitation can cost hundreds of thousands, even millions. Now, a question for you. What would you do if you discovered a coin worth $980,000 in your collection tomorrow? Would you sell immediately, or would you hold, hoping its value would climb even higher? The decision is both thrilling and terrifying. It's a moment that forces you to weigh patience against opportunity, instinct against strategy. And that tension, that uncertainty, is part of the adrenaline rush of numismatics. Every collector knows it, every seller fears it, and every treasure hunter craves it. But let's bring it back down to reality for a moment. Not every 1980 Wheat Lincoln penny is a fortune. The trick lies in understanding condition, provenance, and rarity. Coins graded as MS-65 or higher by professional services are where fortunes reside. Anything less, and the value drops dramatically. So, the next time you find a 1980 penny, don't toss it casually into the jar. Examine it, study it, treat it as the potential goldmine it could be. Even a tiny detail, a slight luster, a sharp strike, can differentiate a 50-cent coin from a life-changing treasure. And let's inject a little humor to reset your focus. Imagine your friend scoffing at your obsession with pennies while you quietly glance at your collection, knowing that one of those worthless coins could buy a mansion. Priceless. Or perhaps literally priceless. As we move toward the climax of the story, it's important to understand that coins like the 1980 Wheat Lincoln penny embody more than monetary value. They are a reminder of history, of the fleeting nature of time, and the rewards that patience, knowledge, and curiosity can bring. They symbolize the intersection of ordinary life with extraordinary possibility. And that is why collectors across the nation, and indeed the world, are relentless in their pursuit of these treasures. So here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. While we've explored the value, rarity, and excitement of the 1980 Wheat Lincoln penny, the truth is that the next one could be in your hands. Hidden in a dusty drawer, a forgotten collection, or even mixed among pennies in circulation. Will you recognize it? Will you seize the opportunity? That decision, right there, could change your life. The 1980 Wheat Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It's an adventure, a challenge, and a promise. A promise that even the smallest object, often dismissed and overlooked, can hold unimaginable potential. It's a reminder that wealth sometimes comes in the most unexpected forms, disguised as humble copper, waiting for the sharp-eyed, the daring, and the informed to claim it. So, if you have a 1980 penny tucked away somewhere, don't dismiss it. Examine it, protect it, and explore its possibilities. Because in the world of rare coins, opportunity waits for no one, and fortunes favor those who are prepared. Remember, a single penny, struck in Denver in 1980, could be the key to a life you've always dreamed of, a life of freedom, adventure, and wealth beyond measure. The question isn't whether it's valuable. It's whether you're ready to unlock its true potential. Keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your mind sharp. That coin you ignore today could be the treasure of tomorrow. After all, history has a funny way of hiding the extraordinary in the most ordinary places. And if you're lucky enough to find it, your life might never be the same again. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a story that could change the way you look at the coins sitting quietly in your drawer. Imagine holding a single penny that could be worth nearly $1 million. It sounds like a dream, right? But for collectors and treasure hunters across the United States, the 1995 D-Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent is precisely that kind of gem. A coin that has quietly accumulated immense value, and it might already be sitting under your couch cushions, in your old coin jar, or tucked away in a forgotten collection. It all starts with history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, is one of America's most beloved coin collections. But the story of the 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent is a little twist in that history. A coin so rare and unique that it commands attention from collectors willing to pay astonishing sums. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a story frozen in copper, a time capsule from a period when pennies were crafted with care, precision, and a dash of mystery. You might be asking yourself, wait, how can a 1995 penny possibly be worth $995,000? That's exactly the question everyone wants answered. And the answer is far more fascinating than you might imagine. The magic begins with rarity. Not all pennies are created equal, and the 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent is one of those extraordinary exceptions. Only a few of these coins exist with the pristine condition and unique characteristics that make them collectible to this degree. Mistakes, errors, and anomalies in coin production create some of the highest values in numismatics. This penny didn't just survive the decades. It survived in almost perfect condition, untouched by circulation, polished by time, and coveted by experts who recognize its scarcity instantly. Picture this. A coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, sitting unnoticed in a bag or a drawer, potentially worth close to $1 million. It's the kind of opportunity that can turn a casual hobbyist into a savvy collector almost overnight. And here's a little humorous thought to reset your attention. Imagine finding that penny while trying to pay for a cup of coffee. Do you take $1 million coins? You'd ask the barista. Chances are, their jaw would drop faster than the price of an old comic book after a secret first printing is discovered. But what drives this extraordinary value isn't just rarity. It's provenance and condition. The 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent stands out because it carries a story of meticulous preservation. Coins of this type are graded meticulously by experts, considering factors like luster, strike, and surface integrity. A coin graded as near perfect can exponentially increase in value, turning an object we take for granted into a coveted piece of American history. Collectors know this, investors know this, and now so do you. The fear of missing out here is very real. One misstep or delay could mean the difference between discovering a fortune and overlooking it entirely. This penny is more than currency. It's a psychological thrill. Each glance at it evokes excitement and anticipation. Collectors are driven by the thrill of the hunt, the adrenaline of uncovering a hidden treasure, and the satisfaction of owning something that the world deems nearly priceless. The 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent is a rare convergence of history, craftsmanship, and scarcity that creates a potent emotional trigger. And if you're thinking this sounds like hype, consider this. The market has proven time and again that rare coins command incredible sums, with record-breaking sales reported at prestigious auctions. You might wonder, could this really be in my possession without me knowing? Absolutely. Many of these high-value coins have been discovered in the most mundane places: pocket change jars, forgotten coin rolls, and even between couch cushions. The key is awareness. The moment you understand what to look for, you start seeing the potential hidden in ordinary pennies. Think of it like mining for gold in your own home. Except instead of shovels, all you need is knowledge and a discerning eye. Here's a little pattern interrupt. What if I told you that someone once tried to sell one of these coins as just a penny at a garage sale, and the buyer laughed, tossed it back in the tray, and walked away? That's the reality. People often overlook the extraordinary in plain sight. But once a collector recognizes it, the value skyrockets, and suddenly, a seemingly insignificant object becomes a life-changing asset. The story doesn't stop at discovery. It continues with the transformation of opportunity into wealth. Imagine the possibilities if that coin is yours: paying off debts, investing in other rare collectibles, or even living a lifestyle you've always dreamed of. There's a sense of urgency here because opportunities like this are fleeting. Every penny that enters the market has the potential to change hands, and the sooner you identify and authenticate it, the higher your chance of unlocking its full value. Waiting too long could mean watching a fortune slip through your fingers. And the excitement grows when we consider the market itself. Rare coins aren't just valuable, they're actively sought after by collectors worldwide. Auctions, private sales, and numismatic networks create a dynamic environment where every coin's value is constantly assessed, compared, and often, driven higher by competitive bidding. The 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent isn't just a coin. It's a financial instrument, a historical artifact, and an emotional treasure all rolled into one. Here's where things get even more compelling. The cliffhanger of authenticity. Many people dismiss coins they find as ordinary without realizing the incredible potential hidden in the details. Minor variations, mint marks, and unique production quirks are what separate a $1 million coin from a few cents. A tiny, almost imperceptible mark can mean the difference between an ordinary collector's item and a record-breaking auction piece. The suspense here is irresistible. What if the coin you've ignored is one of these rarities? Now, let's connect the dots. First, the historical significance establishes the story. Then, the rarity and condition create the value. Finally, the market dynamics and emotional allure turn potential into reality. Each element flows seamlessly into the next, building a narrative that grips attention, evokes curiosity, and compels action. You can feel the urgency, the excitement, and yes, even a little fear, the fear of missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Humor is a subtle but powerful tool here. Imagine explaining to your friends that you just found a penny worth nearly $1 million, only for them to roll their eyes. Sure, and I found a unicorn in my backyard. But deep down, you know the truth. This isn't fantasy. It's the tangible potential of the 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent. And that's the kind of irony and humor that keeps a viewer engaged, breaking tension while reinforcing the narrative of discovery as we move toward the climax. Consider the impact on your life. A coin like this isn't just a financial windfall. It's a story, a conversation starter, and a testament to your awareness and diligence. Imagine showing it to your grandchildren, telling them how you uncovered a forgotten treasure, and watching their eyes widen as they grasp the significance. This is more than wealth. It's legacy. And the sense of satisfaction, pride, and achievement that comes from recognizing and acting on such an opportunity is unparalleled. Finally, we arrive at the resolution, understanding that the 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent is a rare and remarkable piece of American history with the power to transform lives. It combines rarity, condition, historical importance, and market desirability into a single, potent collectible. And the most important takeaway? Awareness and action are everything. If you've ever collected coins, kept pennies, or simply admired the subtle beauty of numismatic craftsmanship, this is your call to look closer, investigate, and perhaps uncover a fortune that's been hiding in plain sight all along. The journey doesn't end here. The 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent teaches us a valuable lesson, that extraordinary opportunities often lie hidden in the most ordinary places. That a simple coin, overlooked by the masses, can hold the key to unimaginable wealth and personal transformation. The next time you find yourself holding a penny, pause, look closely, examine it, because one day, that ordinary coin might just be the extraordinary discovery of your lifetime. And as we leave you with this thought, imagine the thrill of realizing that your dormant collection might be worth nearly $1 million. The excitement, the urgency, the opportunity, all wrapped in a single, unassuming penny. The story of the 1995 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent isn't just about coins. It's about recognizing potential, seizing opportunity, and embracing the extraordinary hidden within the everyday. So, take a deep breath, check your coin jar, and remember, treasures are often where you least expect them. One penny, one moment, one life-changing discovery. The journey to wealth, legacy, and history could begin today, right in the palm of your hand. Welcome back. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so rare, so elusive, that it could transform your life overnight. A coin that collectors, investors, and treasure hunters have chased relentlessly for decades. Today, we're diving into the extraordinary story of the 2006 D Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin whose current market value can reach up to $206,000. Yes, you heard that right, $206,000 for a single penny. But this isn't just about money. It's about history, opportunity, and the thrill of discovering something the world desperately wants but very few possess. Picture this: a simple, unassuming penny, small, copper-coated, and seemingly ordinary. On the surface, it's just another coin, easily overlooked in your pocket change. But for those with an eye for rarity, this 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny is a key to an entirely different world. You see, while most pennies minted that year are common, a handful carry a secret, an incredibly rare die variation, a flaw in the minting process that makes them nearly priceless. Imagine stumbling upon a coin like this in your own collection or wallet. The rush, the disbelief, the instant calculation of, could this really be worth 6 figures? Now, let me ask you, how often do we underestimate the small things in life? A coin that most people toss aside as trivial change could, in reality, hold the power to change your financial destiny. That's the essence of rare coin collecting. The overlooked becomes invaluable, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. And if you've ever wondered whether your loose change might be more than it seems, this story will ignite the curiosity and perhaps even a sense of urgency. The 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny is not just rare because of its mint mark. Its uniqueness stems from its production anomaly. While the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies that year, a very small number carried an error or a unique characteristic that makes them stand out. These errors could be doubling, die cracks, or variations in the striking process. Each anomaly transforms a regular penny into a collector's holy grail. Imagine holding in your hand what millions of people ignore every day, knowing that the rarest among them could be worth more than your car. Here's something that will make you chuckle, but also make you think. Consider this. People spend hundreds of dollars on lottery tickets hoping to strike it rich, while literally walking past a 6-figure coin on the sidewalk or in their own drawer. The irony is delicious, isn't it? And yet, that's the reality of rare coins. Penny today, discarded, could be your golden ticket tomorrow. It's a small gamble with a potentially astronomical payoff. Collectors around the country and even globally have gone to extraordinary lengths to track down these pennies. Auctions, private sales, estate collections. They're all treasure maps leading to this elusive coin. And this is where the urgency comes into play. Every day, more of these coins disappear into private collections, never to resurface. What sits in your drawer today might be gone tomorrow. And that's not fear-mongering, that's reality. Time is not on your side if you want to capitalize on these opportunities. But why does this coin command such a staggering price? Part of it is history, part of it is rarity, and part of it is the story it carries. The Lincoln Wheat penny design itself is a piece of Americana. Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, with the wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizes a time when the country was forging its identity, balancing growth with hardship. And in 2006, while most pennies followed standard production, a few became anomalies, unintentional masterpieces born from the quirks of industrial minting. Collectors see more than metal. They see history, they see scarcity, they see the thrill of possession. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how would I even know if I have one? That's where the excitement intensifies. Spotting a rare 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny requires a keen eye and a bit of detective work. Look for subtle differences in the strike, slight doubling of the mint mark, or unusual features on the wheat stalks. These tiny details are the difference between a common penny and a 6-figure coin. And here's the thing. If you don't know what to look for, you could literally have one in your hand and never realize it. How's that for a cliffhanger? Collectors often share stories that sound unbelievable. A man cleaning out his attic discovers a handful of pennies, puts them in a jar, and months later realizes one of them is worth more than his house mortgage. A grandmother finds a coin tucked inside an old coin purse and laughs at it as mere pocket change, only to discover it's the rare 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny worth hundreds of thousands. These aren't just stories. They're real-life examples of fortune hiding in plain sight. And isn't that just a little bit exhilarating? The next success story could be yours. But before you rush to check every penny in your home, it's crucial to understand the market. Coins like this are not sold casually. High-value coins go through rigorous authentication, grading, and auctioning. Organizations like PCGS or NGC certify coins, providing the credibility required for buyers to confidently pay top dollar. Without proper grading, even a genuine 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny might not fetch its true value. It's like holding a priceless gem in your hand but keeping it hidden in a shoebox. The world must recognize its worth before it translates into wealth. Let's pause and consider the human element. Rare coin collecting is not just about money, it's about legacy. Think about it. These pennies, minted decades ago, have survived countless hands, pockets, and wallets. They carry stories of people who handled them, of moments in history frozen in copper. Owning one of these rare pennies is owning a tangible piece of the past, a connection across generations. And the thought that something so small could yield life-changing financial security? That's more than excitement. It's empowerment. Here's a question for you to reset your mind. How many times have you ignored something simple, only to discover its hidden value later? Maybe it was an old book, a collectible toy, or yes, a penny. This 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny reminds us that opportunity often hides in plain sight. And that's why acting quickly is essential. As more collectors and investors enter the market, the fewer coins remain accessible to the general public. Waiting could cost you thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, let's explore the psychology behind this coin's value. Fear, excitement, urgency. These aren't just emotional triggers. They drive the market. Collectors fear missing out on a rare find. Investors get excited about the potential return. And the sense of urgency that keeps the hunt alive. Every day that passes, more coins are claimed, more opportunities vanish. This dynamic fuels the price, elevating what was once a modest penny into a six-figure treasure. And don't forget the thrill of discovery. Imagine holding a 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny, recognizing its uniqueness, and then taking it to a certified appraiser. The moment they confirm its rarity, the excitement, the disbelief, the rush. It's a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. That moment of realization, that confirmation that you've stumbled upon something extraordinary, is priceless. And that's the real allure of rare coins. They are not just currency, they are experiences. As we approach the end of this journey, consider this. Opportunity often comes disguised as ordinary, and the 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny is the perfect example. For those willing to look closely, understand history, and act decisively, there's a chance to transform a small, overlooked coin into a monumental asset. The stakes are high, the rewards even higher, and the thrill undeniable. So, ask yourself, could one coin in your possession hold the key to financial freedom, a story of discovery, and a legacy for future generations? Could a single penny, often discarded without thought, change your life forever? The answer may be closer than you think. In the world of rare coins, ordinary is never ordinary, and a 2006 Wheat Lincoln penny might just be your hidden treasure waiting to be claimed. Time is fleeting, opportunities are rare, and the story of this penny is still unfolding. Will you be part of it? Will you discover, recognize, and act before someone else claims the fortune that could have been yours? The thrill, the history, and the wealth await, but only for those who dare to look beyond the surface and seize what most overlook. Your journey starts with one coin, one moment, and one decision. The question is, will you make it? Welcome back. Imagine holding a coin in your hand. Small, unassuming, barely noticeable. It's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that this tiny piece of metal, struck in 2013, carries a secret that could change your financial destiny forever? Yes, I'm talking about the 2013 no-mint mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors are willing to pay a jaw-dropping $213,000 for it today. That's right, over $200,000 for what most people toss into a jar and forget about. You might be wondering, how can a coin from 2013 be worth such an astonishing amount? The story behind this penny is more thrilling than any treasure hunt you've ever heard. And by the end of this video, you might be questioning every penny you've ever overlooked. It all starts with the legacy of the Lincoln cent itself. For over a century, the United States has minted these coins, honoring Abraham Lincoln and embedding history into our everyday lives. But even within this legacy, some pennies carry anomalies. Tiny differences, mistakes, or unique features that elevate their value from mere cents to life-changing wealth. The 2013 no-mint mark wheat penny is one such anomaly. Unlike the millions of pennies struck at official mints across the country, this particular coin escaped the usual channels. No mint mark, no official record, just a rare error that makes it a golden ticket for collectors and investors alike. Now, here's where things get fascinating. You might think, wait, 2013? That's recent. How can it possibly be worth hundreds of thousands? And that's exactly the trap most casual collectors fall into. We tend to equate age with value, assuming that only ancient coins or centuries-old treasures are worth fortunes. But this penny defies that logic. Its value isn't just in its date. It's in its story, its rarity, and the sheer improbability of it existing at all. Imagine the odds. A coin made in the modern era, slipping through production lines without a mint mark, surviving the years, and landing in your hand. The universe might be nudging you toward wealth you never imagined. Here's a little humor to keep your mind sharp. If you've ever cursed a penny for being useless, you might want to rethink that attitude. That little copper disc could be sitting in your pocket, quietly laughing at your skepticism. Yes, the irony is delicious. What we deem trivial often carries the greatest secrets. But let's talk numbers, because this isn't just about stories. It's about real financial potential. Experts have verified that the current market value for this 2013 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny hovers around $213,000. That's not a typo. Think about what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off debts, invest in property, fund your retirement, or finally live the luxurious lifestyle you've been dreaming about. But here's the catch. Not every coin will fetch this price. Condition matters, provenance matters, and timing matters. The urgency is real. Every day that passes without action could mean a missed opportunity, a fortune slipping through your fingers while you wait for something better. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if I even have one of these rare coins? That's where the thrill begins. It's all about keen observation, attention to detail, and a willingness to investigate. These coins are subtle in their uniqueness. At first glance, they may look like any other Lincoln penny in your wallet or coin jar. But the absence of a mint mark, combined with the wheat design on the reverse side, creates a perfect storm of rarity. It's almost like playing a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek, where the prize is life-altering wealth. And speaking of hide-and-seek, imagine the panic of realizing that the coin you tossed into your pocket as spare change could be worth more than a luxury car, a home, or even a small island. That fear, the sudden recognition of missed opportunity, is what drives collectors and investors to obsess over every detail, every series, every slight anomaly in the minting process. It's the adrenaline rush that turns casual hobbyists into wealthy collectors overnight. Let's break it down a little further. The 2013 no-mint mark wheat penny is unique because it wasn't intended to be released this way. Minting errors occur when the usual processes go awry, coins are struck without a mint mark, misaligned dies create unusual impressions, or pieces are accidentally produced with outdated designs. In the case of this penny, the missing mint mark makes it an immediate standout, a whisper from history that something extraordinary has survived in the most ordinary of objects. It's a whisper that could very well turn into a shout heard around the world when the right buyer spots it. Now, here's a fun question. How many pennies have you found on the ground in your lifetime? 10? 50? 100? And yet, among thousands of ordinary pennies, one in the right condition could be worth more than a lifetime of found coins combined. The lesson here is clear. Wealth often hides in plain sight. You just need the eye to see it, the knowledge to recognize it, and the courage to act. You might also be wondering about authenticity. After all, when we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can't rely on guesswork. Professional grading and verification are key. Coins like the 2013 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny are often certified by trusted organizations, ensuring that collectors are paying for legitimate rarity, not a clever forgery. This step not only protects your investment but also amplifies its value in the eyes of serious buyers. A verified coin tells the story of its authenticity with a loud, unignorable voice, commanding attention and commanding price. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Market trends in rare coins show an upward trajectory, especially for anomalies like this. Modern coins with errors are increasingly sought after because the supply is limited and awareness is growing. The younger generations entering the collector space are driving demand, turning what might have been a niche market into a thriving goldmine. In other words, owning a coin like this isn't just about nostalgia. It's a strategic financial move. It's about positioning yourself at the intersection of history, rarity, and market opportunity. Let's inject a little humor again, because if you've ever worried that coins are boring, think again. Imagine telling a friend, "Yeah, I just bought a penny for $213,000. Watch their eyebrows hit the ceiling. You'll get the shock, the awe, and perhaps even the envy, all for owning what looks like something that jingles in your pocket. It's the ultimate conversation starter, and more importantly, it's the ultimate wealth generator. Transitioning from excitement to strategy, the real question becomes, how do you capitalize on this opportunity? If you happen to own a 2013 no-mint mark wheat penny, your first step is evaluation. Understand the coin's condition, its rarity, and its market context. Reach out to reputable dealers, certified grading organizations, and auction houses. Every step you take toward professional assessment increases the likelihood that your coin reaches its true potential value. The urgency cannot be overstated. While some might hesitate, savvy collectors are already moving, turning knowledge into tangible financial gain. And here's a cliffhanger for you. Imagine if the coin you've been ignoring isn't just worth $213,000. What if, in pristine condition or with a verified provenance, it could command even more? The thought alone is enough to make you revisit every drawer, every jar, every forgotten collection box in your home. That feeling of anticipation, the mix of excitement, hope, and just a pinch of fear, is what drives collectors to hunt relentlessly, to never overlook even the tiniest piece of history as we bring this journey closer to reality. Consider this. Wealth often presents itself disguised as ordinary. The 2013 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny is proof. One moment, it's just another coin. The next, it's a potential key to a life of financial freedom, luxury, and security. The power lies in your ability to recognize opportunity, to act decisively, and to navigate the intricate world of coin collecting with knowledge and confidence. Those who seize this moment can transform not only their wealth but their entire lifestyle. Before we end, let me leave you with one last thought. The next time you pick up a penny, hold it in your hand and really look at it. What stories does it carry? What secrets might it be hiding? Among the billions of pennies in circulation, the rarest of them could be whispering your name, waiting for you to discover its value. The 2013 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It's an invitation to wealth, to opportunity, and to a life many only dream about. Will you answer that call? Because sometimes the smallest things, just a single coin, can lead to the largest fortunes. And who knows, that forgotten penny in your pocket might just be the one that changes everything.